Let's go down to Jerome's. So the Minnesota Vikings look to take back the NFC North and never give it back, Ryan Poles style. The NFC North, a.k.a. the Robert Tonyan division. It's looking good. Here's how we see things shaking out. So the Vikings 13-4, wanting some more. But Darnold won 14 games. Shut up. No, this is an absolute success. Great start to the J.J. McCarthy dynasty, and we'll go from there. Also, 13 wins should be in the race for the 1 seed. Who knows? The Lions and the Bears tie. Because why not? But the Lions take a huge step back, 9-7-1. Maybe that flirts with the wild card. Maybe not. Probably not. But the brain drain is legit in Detroit. Chicago, 7 wins actually might be a win for them, right? Let's be honest here. But I think it will take a while for them to gel. I think Ben Johnson, I don't know. He's great at X's and O's. Does he get the human factor? Does he get the human side for being a head coach? Can Caleb Williams get it done? And then the greasy grimy Green Bay Packers. I think that secondary is going to be Achilles' heel. I think they'll find out that Jordan Love is not that guy. It never will be that guy. And they finished dead last in the division at 7-10. 7-10 split. They ain't picking that up, right? Long story longer. Kevin Patra coming at you, who pretty sure is not AI. But also, I just assume everyone's AI at this point. But I did up a piece, NFC North 2025, case for and against everyone to win the division, and made a couple salient points. I haven't read this yet. That's all. First up, the case for the Vikings winning the division. Minnesota general manager Kwesi adofo-Mensah earned his contract extension. The Vikings have a loaded rooster with talent at every level on both sides of the ball. Minnesota identified a weakness in the trenches last year and addressed it this offseason. That's what's something beautiful about what Kwesi did. Doubling, tripling down in both trenches. The interior offensive line, as well as getting a pass rush on the D-line, it's important. So they added Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, rookie Donovan Jackson. It's for real. Upgraded the interior O-line after last year's crew got pushed around. They got Matchbox 20. I want to push you around. Well, you will for multiple years. That's what happened. The addition should not only aid quarterback J.J. McCarthy, but open more holes for Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason in the ground game, too. On D, it snagged lineman Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave. Sure, the two are a bit longer in the tooth, but when healthy, they can be a dangerous duo. Yes. Getting pressure with 4 on top of AVG, Grenard, Diamond Dallas Turner. Let's go. The Vikings defense under Brian Flores can get after opponents, and the DC has particularly been adept at rattling quarterbacks early in the season. Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel are terrors off the edge. Minnesota produced last year, despite getting relatively little from 2024 first-rounder Dallas Turner. He had 3 sacks in limited time. Jared Verse had 4.5 sacks, and he was a full-time starter. So whatever. Imagine if Turner becomes a force in year 2. We already knew Kevin O'Connell was a quarterback whisperer. Hey, Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins, but you don't suck. That's all. See, whispering. The coach wrote his magnum opus last year, turning Sam Darnold from a washout to a Pro Bowler, which I don't feel like he gets enough credit for. It's pretty. Darnold got paid, and I'm rooting for Darnold, except for when the Seahawks play the Vikings. But if he turns back into a pumpkin, all of a sudden, Kevin O'Connell is that guy. O'Connell's ability to get the most out of his talent at the most difficult position in sports, regardless of who's under center, provides confidence that the Vikings can overcome McCarthy's greenhorn status. Okay. The final reason to believe in Minnesota is simple: the presence of all-pro receiver Justin Jefferson. Pretty easy peasy, straightforward, which... Again, the Vikings doubling and tripling down at all the weaknesses, notably in the trenches. They took a lot of lessons from the Eagles and being stout in both spots. On paper, on purpose, this offensive line should be a top 5 unit in the league, and McCarthy has everything going for him, which we've talked about ad nauseum. But also the Vikings being able to run the damn ball when they need to, it's going to be great. The case against the Vikings, McCarthy is a great unknown. Ahead of the 2024 NFL Draft, there were questions about whether the Michigan quarterback could carry a prolific offense, given it wasn't something he was asked to do under Jim Harbaugh. The offense was pretty prolific. They were a run-first team. Ask the Washington Husky defense if the Michigan offense is prolific. Obviously, they're run-first, and that's what Harbaugh wants to do. That's what they're doing in Los Angeles right now, turning Herbert into a handoff merchant. But McCarthy, they asked him to reel back and hit some big-time throws, and he did. Off of play action. Accurate over the middle. That's exactly what he's going to have to do in this offense. McCarthy always seemed to nail the one pass he needed every game in the March to a national title, but could he make 8 or 10 of those plays like every week? Is he going to have to make 8 or 10 of those plays every single week to start? No. He's absolutely not going to have to. It's like, okay, you're a great chef, but can you farm? Nah, rest in power, Mitch Hedberg. But J.J. McCarthy, that's the whole thing. McCarthy doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. He doesn't have to carry the entire offense. He doesn't have to be Mahomes. All he has to do is keep the Ferrari on the road. That's it. That's it. And you know that he can drive stick. You know how many people can't drive an manual transmission? Actually, the way that some people drive, it's amazing that some people can drive an automatic transmission too. We received no answers last year after he missed the entire campaign due to a knee injury. For now, everything McCarthy-centric is a projection. Projections often fail to translate accurately from paper to the field. If he struggles with the pacing of the NFL game in the first real action against starters, the rest of the rooster might not be able to make up for it. Yes, it will. Because McCarthy's play, how is that going to affect the defense other than field position? All right, so the defense is going to be good to go, even if McCarthy stumbles out of the gates, as well as the presence of Jefferson, who has proven that he is quarterback agnostic, and the offensive line being able to run the ball. Like, the Vikings offense still has a high floor, even if you take McCarthy out of the equation. Absolutely. Beyond McCarthy, there are not a ton of roster or coaching holes, but the Vikings are thin on the back end and could use another veteran corner. No, we're good. Mekhi Blackman's coming off an ACL tear, is penciled in for a significant role, as he should be. Super talented dude. First cornerback drafted by Brian Flores, former third-round pick out of USC. Was very good whenever he was given a chance in 2023 as a rookie. Yes. There is a lack of an obvious third safety in Flores' scheme. Where does he get that from? Like, does Theo Jackson not exist? Does Theo Jackson being signed to a decent 2-year contract, like, that doesn't register? Or, hey, what about Flores, Durante Jones? What about Kwesi? What about everyone hyping up Theo Jackson? What about Kevin O'Connell talking about Theo Jackson's role? Like, that doesn't register? Oh, there's not an obvious third safety. Okay. Okay. Then there is this on offense. What if Christian Darrisaw doesn't bounce back to his stalwart self after last year's knee injury? This reads just like a negative Vikings fan, which could it happen? Sure. But also, I could poop out of my chest. I don't think that's going to happen. Actually, that would be a modern medical miracle breakthrough. I don't know. What if we just stop? Actually, no. Don't want to go down that road. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, all these things could happen, but are they likely? No. They're very unlikely. I think that the secondary will be perfectly fine. And guess what? Hey, if the secondary isn't up to mustard, they can still sign someone later. Right, that's going to be perfectly fine. But I believe in Blackman. I believe in Theo Jackson. I believe in Nudie. I believe in Jeff Okudah. And Darrisaw, like, they're not going to force him on the field before that knee is ready. And McCarthy, could McCarthy end up being a disaster? Sure. It's a non-zero chance. But is it probably close to zero? Yes. I think it is, because given his consistency of play at Michigan, given that he is prone to taking care of the ball and being accurate over the middle of the field, given that he's receptive to coaching, he learns, he generally doesn't make the same mistake twice, that all adds up to him at minimum being decent and a chance to be a star down the line. But he doesn't have to be a star right away. Oh, can you make 8 to 10 throws? He doesn't need to make 8 to 10 throws a game. Right? He doesn't have to he doesn't have to be a Jaden Daniels. He doesn't have to be a Caleb Williams or a Drake May. He doesn't have to be Superman out there. He just has to be normal man. Actually, that'd be the worst superhero. Actually, that'd be a good one. But I digress. I know just playing devil's avocado here, but I'm fully in on the reasons why the Vikings are going to win the division. And I do not believe in the Lions. I do not believe the Bears hype for the second year in a row. They're March champs, and the Packers, I think they're cruising for a bruising, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait to see it happen. Anyways, that's it. Case for and against the Vikings, NFL.com. They made some okay points, especially the case for the Vikings, and it's going to happen. Absolutely. Your thoughts are thoughts. Comment section, you guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value. Say bye, Rocco.